Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So in today's session we'll see one more concept in prompt engineering, that too in generative AI, that is chain of thought prompts. So in our previous session we have seen one type of prompt, that is a prompt chaining. So where we are giving multiple prompts which are linked together in order to give the accurate result. But here in today's session we are going to see chain of thought prompts where we are giving only one prompt, that to single prompt, and we are asking the model to give the detailed explanation or a step-by-step reasoning to get the answer instead of getting the final answer directly, right? So we'll see the theoretical part, as well as I'll show you few examples so that you can understand what exactly mean these chain of thought prompts. So coming to the definition, so chain of thought prompt is step-by-step reasoning before giving the answer instead of giving the direct answer. So many times if you ask some question to the model, it will try to give the answer directly, so it doesn't give some explanation, right? So here this chain of thought prompts will give the explanation, the step-by-step explanation, how we are getting the answer instead of giving the final answer. So here we'll see what is a procedure. So what happens for this chain of thought? So step one, the problem will be divided into different parts. The same thing happens in our prompt chaining also. But for every step we are going to give a new prompt, but here it will automatically generates the prompts itself. So we are giving only one prompt. So after dividing the problem into small parts, the second step, it will identify the relevant information from that particular information. So relevant information from each and every part. And then it will make the logical connection between the step and step. So the output of one step will be given as an input for the second step, right? And the output of second step will be given as an input for the third step. So that will be common. That we are calling it as a chain, right? Chain. So chain of thought. So but here what happens means the complete internal for every step internally the prompt will be automatically generated by the model itself. So we are giving only one prompt at the beginning. So after that step 3, after connecting all the prompts, next intermediate conclusions will be formed. So for every step we'll be getting some results, right? And finally we have to combine the result or solution of all the steps in order to get the final result. So this is the procedure how the chain of thought prompt will be used. And why we have to use this chain of thought prompt? Because so as we said that the prompt will be generated by the model itself, and we are giving only one prompt, so automatically it improves the accuracy of solution, and also it reduces some mistakes, logical mistakes. And one very important thing is it doesn't give the answer with a wild guess. There are no guess answers. So it will give the detailed explanation how we are getting that particular answer, right? And applications where we are going to use this chain of thought prompt means some mathematical problems, because in mathematical problems we need to solve the problem step by step. So we need to give a step by step solution. So obviously the first application is a mathematical problems, and the next programming logic. So we are writing the logic and we don't know how the logic implements, right? How the control executes the logic, right? So in that also we can use this chain of thought prompts in order to get the detailed explanation of the logic. So instruction by instruction explanation will be given, right? And then algorithms concept, algorithm analysis, and real life reasoning and logical reasoning. And many competitive examinations will be giving some logical reasoning questions. So we can practice those logical reasonings. So by using these models, okay, that too by using this kind of prompts, okay, and decision making. So these are all different applications of chain of thought prompt. So we'll see one example so that you will be understanding. So here I'm giving, find the maximum number in the array, some 10, 9, 20, 40, 100. So I'm asking the question, find the maximum number in the array. So you can observe we got the answer, the maximum number in the array is 100. Okay, so if you want to implement the same thing in a programming, how you will be implementing? So if you are not knowing the procedure, so how we are getting 100? So if you know the procedure, how we are getting the 100 as a greatest number, then automatically it will be very easy for you to write a program, right? Now I will change the prompt. So give me step by step explanation to find the same. I'll copy this one. See, previously just I'm asking the question, but here I'm giving, give me step by step explanation. So this is obviously, this is a chain of thought prompt. Now we'll see what will be the result. See, previously the result is direct answer. Now we are getting the detailed explanation. So if you try to use these kind of prompts instead of this one, so what will be the helpful? It will be very helpful for you to write the program. Okay, particularly in the programming logic. Okay, and unless you know the procedure, you can't write the program. And see, the procedure start with the first element and assume the first element is the maximum. So 10 is a maximum. Compare the maximum element with the second element. What is the second element? 9. So compare 10 and 9. So obviously 10 is greater than. So don't change the maximum number. So maximum remains 10 itself. And the third step, compare with the third element, which is 20. So 10 and 20. So 20 is greater than. So update the maximum to 20. So replace the 10 with the 20 because 20 is maximum than 10. And then compare it to the fourth element. So you have to repeat the same process until it reaches to the end of the array. So if you go with the end of the array, compare with the fifth element. So because here we are giving only 5 elements. So coming to the fifth element, compare 40 with 100. So 100 is greater. So update the maximum. So we have reached to the end of the array. So finally we'll get the result after checking all the elements. The maximum number is in the array is 100. See, here we are getting the direct answer, but here we are getting the detailed explanation, a step-by-step procedure in every step what happening, right? And one more example. See, give step-by-step explanation or reasoning, whatever it may be, reasoning to add, to add 10, comma, minus 20, comma, 100, comma, minus 50, comma, 70. Okay. See. So if you give only add 10 minus 20, 100 minus 50 and 70, we'll be getting the direct answer. But step by step reasoning I'm asking. So start with the first number 10, add the second number minus 20, so which is minus 10, total minus 10, and the third number 100, so it will be 90, fourth number minus 50, so 40, and fifth number 70, which is 110. So final answer will be 110. So we'll be getting the detailed explanation. Okay, simply you can also go with the programming logic. So give step by step reasoning of executing for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So I'm giving some for loop and I just want to know how this for loop will be evaluated. Step by step reasoning. Okay, see. we are getting loop structure, initialization I is equal to 0, condition and updation. So that is a syntax for a for loop, right? So first iteration, I is equal to 0, check condition 0 less than 5, yes, true. So loop body will be executed and increment I will be 1 now. And second iteration, I is equal to 1, check the condition 1 less than 5, true. So loop body executes, I becomes 2. So this is what happening in the for loop, what we have done. Okay, summary, you can see the loop runs 5 times because we have given the condition I less than 5. Okay, and simply I values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and whenever I becomes 5, automatically it will be false, and the loop stops when I becomes 5. Right? So this is the advantage of chain of thought prompts. And one more example let me give. So give step by step explanation, how does Gmail validate login credentials? So we know that everyone will be having the Gmail account. So we are supposed to give the user ID and password. And if both are validate only, the Gmail will be logged in. So I just want to know what is the detailed explanation. Okay. So let us check. You can see the first step, user enters the login details. You enter the email address and click next. Then you enter your password. And see, password will be encrypted. Okay, your browser creates an encrypted connection with Google servers, and this ensures the credentials cannot be read by other in transit. So automatically during the transmission of data, these login credentials will be transmitted to the Google server because there it have to validate with the database. So in middle of the transmission, it should not be revealed to anyone, so it will be encrypted. The browser creates an encrypted. And account existence check. Google checks whether the email address exists or not. If it doesn't exist, login will be rejected. If it exists, Google does not store your password in the plain text. And your password is hashed, converted to cryptographic value. And the hash is compared with the stored hash. So already in the database, the password will be stored in a hash format, hash codes. Okay, if hash matches, password is correct. If not, access denied. See, when two-step verification, what happens? So if you enable the two-step verification, it will generate some OTP and it will send to the mobile. So you need to type that OTP or Google Authenticator code. You will be getting a code to the Google Authenticator app. So you need to enter that, or security key will be given. So different options. And similarly, session creation and access granted. One session will be created after successful login, and it will be maintained throughout until you log out the session. And access granted. So automatically you can avail the services of Gmail if your login was properly validated. Right? So see, how we are getting means the complete information. Instead of getting the direct answer, we are getting some sort of reasoning and explanation which gives a more accurate information. So I suggest always use these kind of chain of thought prompts. So simply use the words like give step-by-step explanation or give reasoning, okay, or explain clearly or elaborately, give the information step by step. So use the prompt in such a way so that you will be getting the accurate results. And previous session we have seen prompt chaining. So we'll see the difference among this prompt chaining and chain of thought prompts. So this is a prompt chaining, and this is the chain of thought prompts. So only one difference in the chain of thought prompts, that means today's session. So we'll be giving only a single prompt with a step-by-step reasoning. But coming to the prompt chaining, we are supposed to give the multiple prompts and link it together. And here you can see the step 1 analyze, which will be given as an input to the step 2, which is a calculate, and the output of that one will be given to the step 3, that is a reason, and finally we'll be getting the answer. But here in the prompt chain, you can see task A will be giving some prompt, will be getting some output that will be given to the second task, and again you need to give second prompt, and the output of second task will be given to the input as a input to the task C, and again you have to give one more prompt 3. So finally we will get the result. So in prompt chaining we are supposed to give the prompts, but here in chain of thought prompts we will be giving only one prompt. So that is a very useful, and definitely we'll be getting a very good information, accurate information. And finally, I can say a good prompt ask for reasoning steps, but with a bad prompt ask only for the final answer. So don't use a simple prompt to get the final answer. Always try to give a good prompt by giving, by learning a step-by-step explanation of a problem. Right? Yes. So let's stop here, and hope you enjoyed the session. And if you enjoyed the session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.